Welcome to the Two Guys in a Cooler channel. My name's Eric, and today we're going to be making a cold process soap that bears a striking resemblance to one of the world's most iconic video game characters. That's right, we're going to be making a Pac Man style soap. And I don't know if you know this, but Pac Man is about to turn 40 years old. And I got to thinking, 40 years of running and chasing ghosts, a compulsive eating disorder, the relationship's got to be a little strained with Mrs. Pac-Man. So our Pac-Man soap is going to smell like whiskey. And I was able to get these scents from this one particular store online that I'll post a link to if you're interested. They had all kinds of really weird smells that are for men, like leather and campfire and things like that. And so we've got some really cool upcoming videos utilizing some of those other scents, and we'll get to that in a minute. So let's go ahead and make today's soap. Now, the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to make the eye and the pellet that he eats continuously. I wanted to do these in 1/2-inch CPVC pipes. To make the removal easier, I lined that CPVC pipe with plastic and then poured the batter in. If you have wax paper, shiny side in, you could do the exact same. So as I unwrap, the little plastic opens up and there's the perfect little dot, basically, that I'm going to use as food for Pac-Man. So once those are cured, I need to go ahead and make the mouth. Now, there was obviously a bunch of different ways that this could have happened, but in order for me to make this work, I needed to have just one quadrant of the entire mold to be the mouth. And so using a cylinder as my guide, I went ahead and filled the batter up with just basic whiskey scented activated charcoal soap. This is one of the new molds that I've got from the Etsy store Custom Craft Tools. And I just wanted to demonstrate how versatile and how much fun you could have with one of these molds. So now I'm just very gently inserting that dot right into the center, and that cylinder is keeping that dot or that pipe exactly where I want it. So with a medium traced soap, I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out very gently, and it's going to leave it exactly where I want it. I'm just going to backfill the rest of it. Out of this entire soap mold, I'm only going to be using one tiny little section, and the reason I'm doing it this way is because the rest of that black is going to be used for a different project. Now that the mold is full, I'm going to trim that yellow top off and pop it in the fridge. 24 hours later, we take it out of the fridge, and notice the color of that activated charcoal. See how it's a dark gray? As this soap continues to dry and is exposed to the oxygen, that gray is actually going to turn into a nice dark black. The reason I put it in the fridge was because I didn't want it to gel phase. Using a new scent, I was unsure as to how it would react with the soap, so I figured I would just play it safe. Basic unmolding, no big deal here. We need to now cut our quadrant. And so I'm using this handy little cutter I got from Amazon. And following the lines that I made, we're just going to split this all the way down the mold. My end result should just be one triangle with that singular yellow dot right in the very center of it. The rest of this mold is going to be used to make a different bar of soap much later. And so there we have it. Now that we have our triangle cut out, and I did have to trim it a little bit better because I wanted to make my sides a little more even. But now we're going to go ahead and insert that back into the mold, and we're going to get our eye ready. So remember at the beginning we made the dot and the eye. So I unmolded the eye, and this is a whiskey activated charcoal soap. And all we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of detail in Pac-Man's eye. And to do this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to score that soap all the way down the center, and then using the triangle of that paring knife, I'm going to just scrape out one line of it. And this is going to give me the look that I'm going for. And so now once we've got that completely done, I'm going to insert that soap into the cylinder because it is incredibly fragile, especially since I took out a little portion of the middle of it. And this is going to help keep it together as I'm moving it around, especially putting it into the mold. And so now back into the original mold. This is a 12-inch by 3.5-inch mold. This is going to produce an awesome bar of soap that's going to weigh almost about 7 ounces. And so we're going to go ahead and make our whiskey batter. I'm using dark yellow, and we're going to do this at also about a medium to light trace. And as we're doing it, I'm alternating and I'm filling up the bottom. I'm filling up the cylinder, making sure that my eye detail is exactly where I want it to be. And now that we're done completely filling it up, I'm just going to go ahead and pull that cylinder right out. This soap mold came with 2 cylinders, the one that you see right there, and then one that's a slight bigger diameter, and both of them are really cool. And you could do these kind of like neat circular ombre soaps using those soap molds. But I've got 2 other projects on the way that are going to use those cylinders, and you can kind of see how I get wild with both of those. So stick around for those soaps. Now that we're done filling it up, I cut the top of that eye off, spray it with a little 95% alcohol, and pop that in the refrigerator. 24 hours later, and so now we're on day 3 of this particular soap, and so it's time to unmold and see what it looks like. And I gotta tell you, I really like this soap mold. I love the size. Like in the next video, I'll do a comparison of what a 3-inch circular bar of soap looks like versus this one, and it's crazy the difference. The little plastic liner that it comes in makes taking it out of that cylinder super easy, and then all you got to do is unwrap it, and there you have it. Now you have your soap. And so I'm going to make these 1-inch bars, and I'm just going to shave a little bit off the edge right here just to keep it a little even. But as I'm cutting into this, I can already tell this looks amazing. That dark yellow mica from Soap Goods really nails that Pac Man color, and the activated charcoal, as you can see, has turned from a gray to a black, and it's only just beginning. This has really been kept in the fridge for the better part of 2 days through the different processes. The whiskey scent is fascinating. Like, I'm not entirely sure the practicality of having a soap that smells like whiskey, but it smells really neat. It has a very sweet scent to it. The soap itself is a double butter soap, so it's already going to be a great bar soap. And what you're seeing right here is the raw form of this soap before I've done anything to it, before I've cleaned it up. I typically like to let it dry for a day or two before I do anything with it, but I wanted to show you right away, and then at the very end you'll get to see the end result. Thanks for joining me on this Pac-Man soap making adventure. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it. And if you have any questions about how we made this soap, leave them in the comment section below. If you are new to the Two Guys in a Cooler channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell, because I know you're going to love the kind of stuff I'm dishing out. We'll see you in the next video.